Essays on Untouchables and Untouchability, Social, by Babasaheb Ambedkar. Chapter 1 2b. First, as to the primitive tribes. In what state of civilization are they? The name primitive tribes is expressive of the present state of people who are called by that name. They live in small scattered huts in forests. They live on wild fruits, nuts, and roots. Fishing and hunting are also resorted to for the purpose of securing food. Agriculture plays a very small part in their social economy. Food supplies being extremely precarious, they lead a life of semi starvation from which there is no escape. As to clothes, they economize them to a vanishing point. They move almost in a state of complete nakedness. There is a tribe which is known as the Bonda Parajas, which means naked Parajas. Of these people, it is said that the women wear a very narrow strip which serves as a petticoat, almost identical with what is worn by the Momjak Nagas in Assam. The ends are identical with what is worn by them, and the ends hardly meeting at the top on the left thigh. These petticoats are woven at home out of the fiber of a forest tree. Girls wear a fillet of beads and of palmilla leaf and an enormous quantity of beads in neck ornaments extremely like those worn by many of the Komjak women. Otherwise, the women wear nothing. The women shave their heads entirely, and of the Chenchus, a tribe residing near Farhabad in the Nizam's dominions, present day Telangana, it is said that their houses are conical, rather slight in structure, made of bamboo sloping to the central point and covered with a thinnish layer of thatch. They have very little indeed in the way of material effects. The scanty clothes they wear, consisting of a langot and a cloth in the case of men, and a short bodice and petticoat in the case of women, being practically all, besides a few cooking pots and basket or two, which perhaps sometimes contains grain. They keep cattle and goats, and in this particular village do a little cultivation, elsewhere subsisting on honey and forest produce which they sell. Regarding the Mauryas, another primitive tribe, it is stated the men generally wear a single cloth round the waist with a flap coming down in the front. They also have a necklace of beads and when they dance put cock's plumes and peacock's feathers in their turbans. Many girls are profusely tattooed, especially on their faces, and some of them on their legs as well. The type of tattooing is said to be according to the taste of the individual, and it is done with thorns and needles. In their hair, many of them stick the feathers of jungle cocks, and their heads are also adorned with combs of wood and tin and brass. These primitive tribes have no prohibition against eating anything, even worms and insects, and in fact, there is very little meat that they will not eat, whether the animal has died a natural death or has been killed 4 days or more before by a tiger. The religion of these primitive tribes is the worship of demons of all denominations and dead ancestors of all antiquity. Witchcraft, sorcery, animal and human sacrifice make up their religion. Without education, with no idea of science or of the knowledge of the working of nature, steeped in ignorance and superstition, these primitive tribes have been living on the outskirts and in close conformity with civilization in a savage state, which has been their lot for ages. Instead of marching along, they are where they have been all along, doing nothing but marking time. The end.